Hawks Pistons. I don't know if you guys caught the end of this one. It lasted a minute, but it was fun to watch, and it came down to it. Cade's clutch play being the deciding factor. Right now, he's second in fourth quarter points. He had 8 last night in the final 3.5. And he's second in clutch points this season. Boogie, I'll start with you. Look, we have the MVP discussion. We know how that's sort of broken down. They are on a nice little winning, not streak, but they have won so many games this season, and they are the story as far as I'm concerned. I know the MVP is usually a 1 or 2 guy race, but can we at least put him in the conversation if we're going to broaden it a bit to 4 or 5 guys?
I mean, absolutely, especially where the league is today. It's so much talent. It's so much high-level talent in today's game. I mean, the list could never just come down to 2. Cade is doing everything and more than what he was doing last season. He's proven time and time again that he can lead this team. He's shown that he's the franchise guy. He's the superstar. He's now becoming a more nationwide name, a more global name. Obviously, he's a Nike shoe is coming in place with him. So everything is happening for him at the right time, and he's now slowly creeping into that superstar status. So everything he's doing right now is just all a part of the recipe. So it's expected.
Yeah, no doubt. And it's a moot point like we talked about yesterday with what SGA and the Thunder are doing, with Jokic's stat line and what the Nuggets are doing, even with the numbers Luka's putting up. It's tough to kind of crack that top 3. But if you look at the most valuable player on a team, can you imagine this team without Cade Cunningham? The Thunder would still be pretty good.
Sure.
The Nuggets would take a big hit, but they still have some talent there. Jamal Murray, I think, would take a leap. I think the Pistons, I don't think, are a playoff team without Cade Cunningham, and they are the 1 seed with him. That is value. So I think it's a no-brainer. He should be in the discussion. He reminds me so much of Jalen Brunson in New York, where he's just so clutch. Every fourth quarter, every game on the line, you just put the ball in his hands and put the ball in this dude's hands and let him operate, let him create. And 99% of the time, he makes the right pass, whether it's getting in the mid-range and rising up above a smaller defender or finding the open guy. And you can tell the Detroit Pistons, there's not a lot of names that we've heard of that we're starting to hear about now. And that's because Cade Cunningham is making the game easier for them, and he is willing this team to victories. And again, this team's solid. They're good. No one thought they were going to be here. No one thought they're going to be the number 1 seed. So when you start talking about what goes into voting for MVP, if winning is that, and he's doing that and putting up these numbers, he's got to be in the conversation.
I love him in the conversation.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm with you, Beats. I like him being in that conversation. How realistic is it that he's going to win it based on what the guys are doing out west? Who knows? But just as a sign of respect and acknowledgement, he definitely should be in that conversation for what he's done for Detroit. As an organization, as a city, he's re-energized everything that we've thought about the Pistons. He's the head of that snake. Even last night, they were up 2 points with the Hawks having an opportunity to get the ball back. Instead of him waiting to get fouled or running that clock down, he attacks the basket, reverse lay everybody for game to put them up 4 to put this game out of reach. And then we had a bunch of crazy stuff happen right after that. But that shows you how confident he is in his abilities and what he can do on the basketball court. So I love everything that Cade Cunningham represents at this point. I would love to see him in that conversation, but man, it's a uphill battle for him to even have an opportunity to sniff a win in this MVP conversation with what these guys doing out west. But as a sign of respect, he definitely should be in that conversation.
Yeah.
And he's a favorite right now for clutch. So that got that going for him.
And there was I'm still not even familiar with that award, so I ain't wrapping my head around that one. I ain't tripping now.
You know how when you were playing, we were current players, you would watch other teams play, and you just be like, man, that looks fun, or I want to play with that guy. I get that feeling with the Pistons. I get that feeling with Cade Cunningham. They're building something special there, and they play hard as hell, and they make the right pass. And Cade Cunningham is so good getting everybody involved. They're well coached, so it's one of those teams where if I'm one, and they never had this clear cut number 2. Obviously, Jaden Ivey was going to be that guy. He's got an injury. Jalen Duren is kind of turning into a really, really nice, big man in this league. But if I'm one of these other guys and I'm one of these guys on the trade block, that's a situation that I would love to go to and be in because they play the right way, they play hard, and Cade Cunningham is an absolute stud, and he's going to be there for the foreseeable future.
Absolutely.
That's the best part. By the way, as a shout out, I should say, 37-9 was the outscoring of Detroit's bench to Atlanta's, which I do think should be remarked on, because I mean he had a slower night than we're normally accustomed to. Jalen Johnson, by the way, we should at least mention, Lou, and I'm going to go to you obviously first on this with Hawks talk. They don't have Trae Young, and that has not seemed to really slow them down at all. And he has come out as, would you say, the franchise player for Atlanta moving forward?
He's really like that. He like that. He's one of them guys, and he's shown that. Then the interesting thing I always reference back is when we were teammates, he didn't sniff the floor. He didn't get an opportunity to play at all. And we were all confused, like, how are we not playing this young guy? But coaches make mistakes, and as a result, they lose jobs. But listen, listen, he is a franchise, and that's no slight to nobody, but that's the reality of it. He is a franchise guy. Trae Young aside, you put him on any team, he's going to be a 1 or 2 option with the way that he's playing basketball. The future is bright for him in Atlanta. I hope they figure everything out. And I love the fact that Quinn Snyder has found a way to maximize the way that he plays and put him in a position to be successful and to put him in a position to lead this team with Trae Young being out. But if you're asking me if he's a franchise guy long-term, I don't care what team you put him on. He's going to be the first or the second option on the majority of a lot of them, Atlanta included. I love what he's doing. Shout out to my little bro. I love the fact that he's getting an opportunity to shine and show his genius.
Yeah. You guys want a little hot take on Jalen Johnson?
Ooh, love a hot take.
I think he makes Team USA. I think he is that good. I think he is on the Olympic team coming up in 2028. He's so athletic. He's expanded his game, two-way player, long, athletic, can get to the basket, absolute freak above the rim. And now this year, you see he's adding to his bag in his mid-range, getting more efficient from his perimeter shooting. This kid is a bona fide stud, and I would love to see him on Team USA come Olympic time because we need someone exactly like him.